Okay.
Sure.
Gotta hit me chest.
Perfect.
Shoots up through the stony ground. There's no room, no space to rent in this town.
Well, I think we should look at the global structures as a tremendous source of building careers, opportunities. I mean, everybody's playing now in a bigger field. Everyone who is in Americas is, I think, sees that with Cordillera coming and implementing, with the CD big bets, with supply chain big bets, with the digital marketing agenda. So we have expanded our frontier.
We are dealing directly today with people around the globe, so our ways of influencing, our ways of communicating need to change and adapt, and that is happening right now. So it's not, we have already a unique organization for the whole world, and we're interacting with people around the world, and we needed to reinvent ourselves in ways that we can work as a team.
Okay, the global structure. I would generalize that question. It's not the global structure, it's change. It's just because for the last 15 years we've seen change from local to regional to global. We're now at that stage where everything is global, and it doesn't mean change has stopped. So I think the question is, how do you feel about change in general? It's a bit like the surf analogy. You can either surf the wave or maybe not get in the water, or be swallowed by it in a way. So the thing is, how do you position yourself for change? In my career, I was fortunate enough to be in a position where I could add value to that moment of change. Because if you don't, then you'll either be a spectator, a victim of the process, or feel left behind, and that's not good. And I think you have to embrace change in that way and see how can I contribute, and how can I find the meaning in the change, otherwise I won't be motivated.
Balancing personal and professional. People like to call that work-life balance. I'm not sure there really is a balance.
That is the easiest part to say, but the most difficult to do.
What I personally do, I put my personal appointments in my book. I put them in my diary, I schedule them, I put a half-hour leeway on them, so if I'm supposed to be out of here at, let's just say, 4 o'clock, I put it in for 3:30. And because I know every Unilever meeting runs right on time, so I give myself that extra 30 minutes leeway.
Try to take advantage as much as I can of the technology tools that we have available. I try to do small stuff, like for example working before the kids are up, or working after the kids are in bed, but that is good because it gives me the chance, and I think Unilever is a very good place to work because I have the flexibility to decide on my time.
It's very difficult to balance personal career and life. I think we make choices every day. We make choices, you know, I wake up, I look at my agenda, sometimes we have three meetings at the same time. One with the global team, one here, and also I have a commitment with my son or my daughter, something that I need to do at home, at the school. Then I think we need to make choices all the time. And when we make this choice, whatever it is, to stay at work or go to accomplish with one of these personals that you need to cover, and enjoy it and really dedicate and put full energy on that, and then compensate, you know, in other round, compensate the piece that you didn't cover. And I think this is the way. I think the secret to keep going, you know, and try to do everything that we want to do, our family, but for sure our career, and keep it both in a good shape.
The other thing that goes hand in hand with this is it's very important to align, in my case, Gonzalo, in other people's cases, your managers, your line managers, to make sure that, you know, your balance, my balance, are the same. So I might be the type of manager that says, listen, I need you in the office. Now, I don't know very many people like that, but it's very important to have that conversation with your direct supervisor, your project manager, so that you clearly do set expectations on both sides.
I think the most critical decision in my career really had to do when I decided to start my family. I had worked at Unilever for over 10 years at the time. I actually worked in IT at the time, and I really felt that I wanted a different work-life balance when I had my children and the children were small. So I decided to come in and ask if I could continue to work part-time. And at that time, there were no alternate work arrangements. The really agile working really was not established at all. So it was really frightening for me, because I'm like, am I giving up my career by having this conversation, or am I making a new opportunity? So, you know, it was a win-win for me, and it was win-win for the organization, because I feel like the opportunity to work part-time, which I did for almost 8 years, you know, gave me that balance of career and family in that time that I needed it.
Well, certainly was my international experience in Central America. Moving abroad, moving to other countries is not as easy as it seems to be, because there is a risk associated to your family, the adaptation in another country, the job itself. So I was concerned when I first arrived in El Salvador, if I would be successful in the job, if I could lead the team, that experienced team, if I would adapt to the country, to the culture, or not. So those are concerns that everyone has. But on the other hand, I learned a lot there. So the balance was quite positive for me. Professionally and friends, I have new friends also. I learned a lot in terms of how to manage IT, how to be a better IT professional there. Also, I think I've got a new home. When I think of El Salvador, I also think that, wow, this is my second home.
The most difficult decision for me was when I left from Unilever. I mean, when I got a job in PepsiCo. I had a career path here in Unilever, but for me it was interesting also to be in PepsiCo in order to implement SAP DSD. And it was a great experience also there in PepsiCo, but the decision was very, very difficult.
One of the things that I've learned most is, as far as leadership, is to be myself, is to really think about my values and show that in my leadership.
Honesty and integrity. You have to come to work every day, and you have to feel good about yourself. So that's the one thing, if I would say to people, is that, you know, be true to yourself. Do things the way you need them to be done. So you can look yourself in the mirror in the morning and say, yes, I had a good day yesterday.
Surround yourself with great people. That will mean you work harder, you'll have more fun, but you'll always be challenging yourself.
To establish relationship with people, and also have a background in terms of conceptual backgrounds and self-development.
Know yourself and have a plan. It's fundamental. You have to keep learning about yourself all the time.
This is the support everyone needs. People, relations, and knowledge.
To share problems, to share all the issues of the MCO, of IT related, of the project related, with the line managers.
Just put it on the table. Just say what it is, tell us the bad news, tell us what we're going to do about it, but tell us the bad news. It's better to say it and be honest and open right up front than it is to sort of beat around the bush and hide it.
You won't be learning if you are in your comfort zone, so the minute you take some risk, the minute you are learning, sometimes you will fail, sometimes you won't, but if you are failing and you're probably learning.
Never be in the comfort zone. So try different experiences.
Whenever there's fear involved, use that as a tool. Don't get anxious or stressed. Use it because you're close to learning something great about yourself. And that will take you out of your comfort zone.
I think for sure international experience.
I spent 1/3 of my career out of my home country, So that for me is key because made me much more open to work with different backgrounds, styles, cultures, and made my thinking much more diverse.
And looking at the diversity from culture, gender, you know, different way of working, I think is the key pieces that make a difference in my career.
And I really think it's important to ask questions. You're not going to always know the answers, so ask questions, don't be afraid.
You know, we say that, you know, your career is yours to manage, and you know, Unilever, and you pick a country, you pick a field, you pick a responsibility. You can, in fact, do anything that you want within Unilever. It's out there for you. If you love to travel, you can go into audit 70% of your time on the road. If you don't like to travel, you can go into another area, which is more of a stay-at-home or stay-in-the-office role. But it's anything that you want it to be. But take your career in your own hands. Make your managers have the really, really important conversations with you, and challenge your managers. You know, the role that I am in is not good for me, or the role that I am in is good for me. And again, take it into your own hands. Watch out for yourself, and help us as the leadership team watch out for you as well.